The Hollow is a mystery show that was made in 2018. The story follows 3 kids, Adam, Kai, and Mira. I first watched this show a couple years back, and then I completely forgot about it until recently. It's on Netflix, so I just decided, I saw it again, and I was like, oh, I remember this, I'm gonna watch it again. I don't really remember a whole lot of people talking about it, though I did look it up to see if people did, and it seems that some people did talk about this show. It didn't really seem to get that much attention, though. And I will say that the first season of this show was super good. Like, it wasn't anything phenomenal, but it was still well written. There wasn't much wrong with it. Though the second season, everything just completely fell apart. And that doesn't seem to be an unpopular opinion with the fandom. I'm going to start getting into some spoilers to better explain the story, so if you haven't watched it and don't want any spoilers, go watch it and then come back to this video later. So the story starts out with the 3 kids I mentioned earlier, and they're all trapped in like this bunker. None of them remember who they are or have any memories or know each other whatsoever. In their pocket is this little piece of paper with their name on it, so they at least figure that out. They make it out and find this old lab, and nobody is inside. These weird devil dogs attack them, and they make it through the fence that is blocking them from getting outside. Then, as the devil dogs are still chasing them, they run into this weird guy. They literally call him Weirdy, and that's awesome. Weirdy is a great guy. He's funny, and he's interesting, and he kind of reminds me of Discord from My Little Pony, which is funny because the person who plays Applejack and Rainbow Dash in My Little Pony is Mira. But anyway, they ask him for help, please, and he conjures a portal underneath them, and they fall through into this new place. The show really gets going here and has multiple episodes of them exploring different areas of this world. Along the way, they run into different people and they help them out. But not everybody is friendly, and some of the people in this world are pretty evil. It doesn't really get that important until they find the talking tree. This is gonna sound really weird, especially out of context, but they find the talking tree, and she tells them that these evil demon monks stole one of her branches to make this powerful staff that they can use, and it's called an Ishibo. She promises the kids if they can return the Ishibo, she will tell them how to get home. Which getting home has been their goal the entire time. They don't even know what home is, and they have multiple theories about like, are we dead? Is this heaven? What's going on? Is there even a home to go back to? We don't remember where home is or what it is. It's just this whole mess, and it keeps you guessing because the characters never really have a concrete idea of what's going on. But they face off the demon monks, and they get captured like right away. And Adam, who is very strong, has to go up against the demon monk's greatest warrior so he can get him and his friends free. Eventually he gets the Ishibo, but then these 3 other kids that they don't recognize show up and are using superpowers. One of them is flying around, and her name is Vanessa. One of them is using telepathy, and that's Reeve. And one of them is speeding around, and his name is Skeet. They steal the Ishibo, and now Adam and his friends have to get it back away from Vanessa's little group, because she's the leader. Adam is the leader for his group, and Vanessa is the leader for her group. Eventually, they find their group, but not before Kai finds out that he has fire powers. That's right, Adam is super strong. Those kids have weird superpowers. Mira actually can talk to animals and can swim like a fish, but I did not mention that earlier. And Kai has fire powers. So they all think that there's some weird government experiment or something because they all have powers. But really all I can think of is that Kai is like Kai from Ninjago, and they both have fire powers. So whenever I first watched that was all I could think about. But that's not important. I just went on a little side tangent there. Anyway, they find the kids, and Kai is immediately infatuated with Vanessa because any girl he sees, including Mira, he sees as a possible love interest. Vanessa plays him, his friends get lost because they're in like this weird ghost town, and they literally fall through the ground where the zombies came up, and now they're in these tunnels. But Kai doesn't know that. He's just going with Vanessa and her group because they said, oh yeah, we're gonna find your friends again, just join our little team, we'll figure things out. Well, later, Mira and Adam finally get out of the tunnels, and they find Kai and Vanessa's team trapped in ice from the ice monster. Kai frees Vanessa's team because he still thinks that they're good, and they run away with the Ishibo, and Adam ends up getting hurt because of Reeve. There's a whole ordeal with helping Adam get better and getting back to the kids, but in the end they get the Ishibo and they win. As it turns out, what was happening was they were in a video game called The Hollow. They signed up to be in a game and they won. Though it did end with Kai seeing something strange going on with Vanessa's eye, like she had a contact lens in it or something, and it was kind of glitching. And the whole series is cartoon animated, except for the very end, because they go back to reality, so it's in real life. So whenever I watched the second season and it was cartoon animated again, I was a bit confused. I was like, what's going on? How are they not in live action? Well, as it turns out, they think that they're home, but they're still stuck in the simulation because Vanessa wore like this contact lens or something. I don't completely remember because I only watched like the first episode of season 2 again to remember, and I just didn't want to watch the rest because I just remember it being really bad. But yeah, so she's got them trapped in this game, and there's no way for them to get out unless they win again, I think, or they get the attention of Weirdy. So season 2 was a bit confusing, and the way it ends, it really felt like the writers just kind of wrote themselves into a corner. The first season was still really good though, and I liked all the characters. None of the main 3 were really that bad. I think my least favorite was Kai, not because he was a bad character, it's just that Adam and Mira were a lot better in my opinion. As for Vanessa's group, I think they were all written well, but I don't really like Vanessa and Reeve. I mean, they're good villains, like rivals in the first season, and in the second season, I don't remember liking Vanessa much because she caused the second season to happen, but Reeve does get a lot better, and I like his relationship with Adam. It was really disappointing to see a show that was pretty much okay go into something so awful, because the first season was definitely weird and I could see it throwing some people off, but the mystery was interesting and I had a lot of fun trying to figure things out on my first watch through. Also, the soundtrack for this series is super good, and I do like the theme song a lot, even if it's very short. Another thing worth noting is the use of perspective in the shots for this show, especially in the first episode. The animation isn't anything spectacular, but it does get the job done. The only thing that looked a little bit goofy with the animation was probably the running animation for the characters. I don't know why, but it just looks so weird to me. That one little thing doesn't really ruin it though, it's not a big deal. Not to say it doesn't have its flaws, I just have 2 small nitpicks. One, Adam's strength superpower, he seems really strong, like in one of the scenes whenever he was fighting the evil monk, he literally like picked up his giant weapon and threw it, but in one of the other scenes he was trying to like pull this rope apart and he was struggling. It's not a big deal, like I said, just a nitpick. Also, why are all the girls' hair just like so weirdly colored? Like Adam, Skeet, Reeves, and Kai's are all pretty normal, but then there's Mira and Vanessa. And Vanessa has like purple hair and Mira has blue streaks, and I'm not upset about it, I'm just wondering why. That's about all I have to say now. Thank you for watching this video, and I'm sorry for not posting last week. I was just a bit busy with other stuff I had going on, but I will be posting next week and hopefully be getting back to my normal posting schedule. Thank you again, and I will see you next week.